In this video, I'm going to show you how to get started using the PDF Accessibility Checker in Adobe. Checking accessibility is a skill that is learned over time, and so I won't be able to show you everything that it has to offer, but I do want to show you where the accessibility checker is, so you can go ahead and do a quick check to see if your document is accessible, especially if you plan on sharing it through social media or if you plan on sharing it through an email as an attachment or as an image. So if you come over here to prepare for accessibility and click on reading order or accessibility check, these are the two most commonly used items as a beginner when trying to start checking for accessibility. So I'm going to go ahead and start with checking accessibility or accessibility check. I'm just going to run everything to see, just to make sure I cover all of my bases. You can also attach a report of the document if you plan to share or collaboratively create this document with others. But I'm going to go ahead and click on Start Checking. And if you notice, it found a couple of issues over here on the right. Alternate text is always important, and so is reading order. And if you notice, it said it just needs a manual check to make sure it's in order. Same for color contrast. I do have another video on color contrast if you'd like to listen to it, or you can also check out color contrast and Adobe on their website. But we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you really quickly how to add alternate text or mark as decorative inside Adobe. All you have to do is click on the image or the figure in the reading pane, and it will highlight it for you, which it did right here, which happens to be the QR code. Whenever I uploaded the QR code, I forgot to add an alternate text, and this is actually also clickable, meaning it's a hyperlink to a website. So I'm going to go ahead, right-click Figure 1, and click Fix, and add alternate text. So I'm going to add scan or click on the QR code to go to sign up for the graduate student grocery giveaway. Okay. Click Save and Close. Or if it is a decorative figure, you can also mark as decorative instead of descriptor. It just depends on the image. All right. So there's some other elements that failed, which is this one, which this is actually, I know what this is because I've had this issue before. This flyer was created in Canva, and this particular font image, which is a neon that has been had effects added to it, commonly comes up as an error. So I try to make sure that's not vital to my document, which in this case it's not. And the reason why is because GPSC stands for Graduate Professional Student Congress. So grad was just an extra. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that. It does leave me a little warning just so as a reminder, but that way I can go ahead and make sure all of those issues are taken care of. Page content tagging is something that takes lots of practice and experience. If you're interested in page tagging, I recommend checking out the Adobe website. It's something that I'm personally still continuing to work on practicing, but it has to do with how the content or the program that you use, like in my case for Canva, and how to change that when it gets uploaded and what to switch. So for example, in this particular case, this was actually the same element that I know I've had issues with in the past with this when I add effects to any image or content. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that. All right, color contrast again, please feel free to go check out my video on color contrast. For reading order though, this is super great. You can do this in Adobe. All you have to do is go to reading order, click on show order panel. I find it very helpful. And I'm going to click that over to the side. And if you'll notice, there's a whole list of everything that's going to be read in order. If you notice, the title GPSC Fall 2023 Grocery Giveaway is being read in the incorrect order. It's being read 14, 11, 12, 13, and not 1, 2, 3, 4. This can simply be changed by just clicking and dragging the items over here on the right-hand side. So I want number 14 to be 1. So to change the reading order, all you have to do is click it and drag it to the order in which you would like for it to run. If you notice all the numbers updated, you can do this for all of the text throughout your document. If you find an image, for example, like this one, which is the leaf in the background, you can actually tag those as a figure. And you'll notice that it said no alternate text exists. Oops. So you can go back and add alternate text. And I'll show you real quick through that accessibility check. And look right here, you see the one issue? That one figure that needs to be corrected. I'm going to go ahead and fix that and mark as decorative and click Save and Close. And now that's been corrected. So anything you change in the reading order or you update and it adjusts, you always want to do another final accessibility check at the end of your document to make sure everything is corrected. While Adobe takes some practice to learn how to use the accessibility checker, using this accessibility check is a great first step to check for the basics whenever you're struggling to make sure that your document is readable from top to bottom and all the images and everything is tagged.